execution will go on as scheduled after Missouri's governor denied pleas for clemency. Lance Shockley is scheduled for execution tomorrow for the 2005 murder of a Missouri State Highway Patrol trooper. WGEM Missouri Capitol reporter Hannah Falcon has been speaking with the group, asking for his clemency.
One foot in front of the other, walking 30 miles from the Boone County Courthouse to the Missouri State Capitol. This group is on a mission. They hope their 30-mile march will bring attention to Lance Shockley's case and impending execution.
The governor still has some time to do the right thing.
Some protesters believe the man scheduled for execution Tuesday is innocent, and some, like Jeff Stack, believe the death penalty is wrong regardless of innocence.
In fact, that Lance Shockley, as a human being, should be reason enough that he lives. That is the way a civilized society should behave, but that's not the way Missouri is.
Shockley is convicted for the gruesome 2005 murder of Missouri State Highway Patrol Sergeant Carl Dwayne Graham Jr. Monday morning, Governor Mike Kehoe denied appeals to stop Shockley's execution, saying violence against those who risk their lives every day to protect our communities will never be tolerated. Missouri stands firmly with our men and women in uniform.
Kehoe really was the last resort, by all means.
As activist Heidi Moore explains, Shockley used up all his appeals already. Kehoe still has the power to change his mind, but marchers today are hoping for something else: awareness.
The hope is to raise attention as we're walking by, and that people are starting to say, why do people care enough to walk?
Shockley's lawyers are in court Monday fighting for his right to have the spiritual guide of his choice join him in his last moments. His execution is scheduled for 6 p.m. Tuesday. Reporting in Columbia, I'm Hannah Falcon.